Hello, my friends. This is the Supergirl of San Francisco, and I want to talk to you today about the good, the bad, and the ugly at the Kamala Harris campaign rally for President of the United States of America. I went there with the high hopes that I could hear something, a message of unity and love and peace, and I did. And it was a great event, wonderful event. I got in line at 10 o'clock. I didn't get to meet Senator Harris, even though I have something very important for her to hear about what has happened to me over the last 2 years as a transgender woman and an entertainer and a peacemaker in the city of San Francisco. I got to dance with kids. I got to meet people and talk on the radio with a few people, and I got to listen to messages about unity, not for the sake of unity, but unity, a real true unity where we actually talk about the problems that are happening in our community, where we give everyone an equal chance and we call out all of the hatred and violence on the left and the right, because it does happen on the left too, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. Amidst all of that wonderful stuff, a ghost from the past, we'll call her Individual A. This Individual A, who is from a group that is known to be Antifa, and Antifa, of course, unfortunately, even though the idea of being anti-fascist is the right choice, this particular group has been on MSNBC and a few other channels, and we know the violent behavior that comes from the left. The extreme left is just as bad as the one that comes from the extreme right. Violence and hatred and slander is unacceptable, and it's wrong. We shouldn't be doing that. As citizens of the earth, as good people of good nature, we shouldn't do that. So, amidst all of that wonderful, amazing love that was there that day, and truth, there was a moment of pain. An old ghost from the past. This Individual A approached me while I was engaging with the public, while I was smiling and just being myself, my true self. This individual then shouted a bunch of things saying, they started out by saying, "You're not supposed to be here. You are on video calling me the N-word, and I have it on video." And this person, this Individual A, who I am sure you all are familiar with in my past, decided to try and slander me in front of all of these good people. And my heart was really sad. I was emotionally distraught. I wanted to leave the rally. I was going to, but then I held on to hope. I prayed, I meditated, and I moved away from the negativity. Even though there were those around me calling me the ignorant one. But I am not ignorant. I am woke. And this Individual A is not woke. They are still filled with so much anger and hatred for what they think happened last year. They said that I was on video trying to call them the N-word. The only N-word that I've ever used is nasty woman. I believe in love and respect and understanding for all human life on this planet. And I will not be slandered, and I will not be intimidated. But I will not respond with hatred and slander myself. I won't even mention this person's name. They know who they are. But I stayed, and I'm glad that I stayed, because I got to hear such a wonderful message about truth, about actual unity. Kamala Harris had the most amazing things to say. She was actually more impressive to me than Bernie Sanders has been in the past. And I was there to see Senator Harris. I wanted her to know about what happened to me, about all the abuse and injustices that I've experienced in my entire life. But I was happy. I got to dance with kids. I let the anger go. I let the negative emotions go, knowing they're not actually true. And I held my ground. I stood my ground as a powerful entity on this earth, like all of you should stand your ground when you know that you're doing what is right. This person and their group attacked a disabled woman who happens to be a conservative, a constitutional conservative. And even though I don't agree with the fact that they're a Trump supporter, that does not make it right to go out and hurt and attack a woman. There is no justification for violence just because you're angry and upset. It's wrong. You then become the thing that you think that you hate. You make the rest of us who are trying to be peacemakers, bringing actual unity to the planet, you give us a hard time, and you make it difficult for us to be seen as loving people. And then the rest of those who are on the right, who are Republicans and conservatives, they think that we're all the same, that we seek out to do harm, that we're not tolerant, that we can't listen, that we can't communicate. But that's simply not true. And this is my city. I chose to move here from Texas to get away from hatred. And I will not respond with hatred in kind. So this individual A, I'm going to talk at public comment about that, and I'm going to call that group out. You know what group I'm talking about, Antifa. Any group that engages in hateful, violent behavior, and that includes the Black Israelites, who are listed by the Southern Poverty Law Center as a hate group, the same group that went after the indigenous people and the Covington High School kids. You see, Senator Harris said something important, that we have to address all of the problems. We can't just wash over everything and tell everyone to be quiet, all for the sake of unity. Unity cannot happen unless we call out all of the hatred, the problems, the lies, the suffering of all people on this planet. So, with that being said, I'm reclaiming my power and my strength as a powerful, divine individual on this planet. I will not be moved. I only have humor and love and light and comedy and righteous anger and virtue to offer to my fellow Americans and my fellow San Franciscans. That's it. There's nothing else here but hope. And hope will never be silent.